Well, it already makes my job somewhat easier because so many people have turned up, which shows that Geeta Kapur does not need a formal introduction. Uh, all of you have come here because she enjoys a great reputation as an art critic and a curator. She has been, she has held fellowship at the Indian Institute of Advanced Study, Shimla, and Nehru Memorial Museum Library, New Delhi. One of our, actually she was the first art critic to have taken this, the then contemporary artist, as contemporary Indian artist, the book which made a breakthrough in Indian criticism of art. Then When Was Modernism? Essays on Contemporary Cultural Practice in India. And her forthcoming book is Critics' Compass, Navigating Practices. It is forthcoming from Tulika Books in 2020. And this evening, she is going to speak about our moderns. So, Geeta Kapur.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. I'm going to embark right away on the paper. It is a long text, and it has quite a number of images. But the text itself is long, and you will forgive me, I will read it. This is a handicap that I've not got over. I need to read my texts. I hope you will bear with me. Our moderns. I was not seriously aware of the implications of my choice of the moderns in my first book in 1978, Contemporary Indian Artists. I was more conscious of the critical discourse of modernism in my second book in 2000. And now, with a better understanding of the by now historicized phenomenon of the modern, which has been critiqued and re-understood, I think I may have a more critical entry into the subjects that I have dealt with for long. At a discursive level, this would require me to understand a vast range of issues that I do not pretend and will not suggest that I do fully comprehend, but at least I am aware of this, and that annotates my understanding of the moderns. The basis of Gandhi's anti-modernization manifestos, his polemic with Tagore and Nehru, the contestatory position of Ambedkar, it would include then also a critique of the failed presumptions of the Indian Republic on the promise of an egalitarian society and how it is formulated in Dalit forms of resistance, and also an acknowledgement of the subaltern critique of a dismantled humanism and its modernity project, alongside a critique of classical Marxist thought and the crucial entry of post-colonial politics and discourse. I have no claims to be able to expand my horizon so wide, and I approach this historical legacy of modernism as a filtered trope that allows me to rethink its aesthetic in a revisionist mode. Further, insofar as the generation of our post-independence moderns was prominently male, I would have to understand feminist art history in general by writing about, and also specifically by writing about women artists in our own context. Since the 1990s, I have worked equally and perhaps more frequently on women artists and know how to recognize in retrospect male self-regard, the assumptions of authorial command, gestural handling in a definitive style and recognizable signature. As moderns, the constitution of an artist's solitary self is foregrounded in our moderns, as everywhere else in the world. The represented subject is built up from mid-20th century by existentialism, and within that, a layered core of the erotic that subsists in the unconscious. Both allow for some hubris, challenge to the gods in the privileged role of the male artist. For reasons I cannot quite explain, I'm stirred with the desire to present 3 texts written over the last 10 years on 3 paintings of our moderns, our male moderns, and face the scrutiny of your gaze on my understanding of their painterly language, their material aesthetics, their inferable gender attitude, their iconographic range, and their historical positioning not only of Indian art, but in modernism as such. To give a more immediate context, Yashodhara Dalmia's book remains a major study of the Indian moderns, of the progressive group. More recently, American academics are adding scholarly work to the period of the 1950s and 60s. Meanwhile, our male moderns are being, I believe, manipulated into institutional and commercial circuits. They are packaged and marketed. They're unextravagant, in some cases almost hermit-like lives, their complex selves, their dedication to the act of painting. All this is slurred and traded around and under the title masters. So much of it is auction hagiography, hagiography, exploiting those who are no longer alive and others who are 90 plus. One such wonderful artist is sitting in the first row before us, Krishan Khanna. It is timely in this climate to remember the gravity of their painterly commitments.